So just tell me about what you're up to these days, because like going to college and it was 5 years at New Mexico State. Yeah. So
Correct.
and obviously I think you're a great player, and then you know draft season comes around, and so I guess maybe my first question is like, did you get much interest from teams?
I haven't really got a lot of interest yet. I mean, I've had some teams contact my agent, things like that, but nothing concrete, nothing solid. I'm just staying working out, doing what I can do and just controlling what I can control at this point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, are you in Dallas right now?
Yes, sir.
That's where you're from.
Correct.
I mean, the Cowboys could use your help, man.
Man, I love it, man. If they gave me a call, man, I'd definitely be there,
Yeah.
front and center.
Yeah. I mean, they'd be training kind of nearby, right? So it must kind of sting to just think like they're working
Yeah,
right now and you're not there.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like this is my first time in my life around this time of year where I'm not playing football. So, it's kind of weird, but with all this stuff going on, I can only control what I control.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good attitude, isn't it? I mean, you can get frustrated at the world and just want to bang
Oh
your head
yeah,
against the wall, but
oh yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, keep it pushing, man. Take everything a day at a time. When the time comes, just be ready.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I came across your name pretty late in my scouting process, like maybe like a week or two out from the draft.
Hmm.
I don't really recall. I think maybe it was just like someone just putting your name out there, maybe draft diamonds or something like that. And
Yeah, I
then,
did an interview with him.
right, yeah,
Mhm.
I suppose like, yeah, it must be a hustle in itself just trying to get to the draft, right?
Yeah, just with especially coming out of school like I came out of, it's not just a hotbed for NFL talent. So I'm already behind the eight ball. So just getting my name out there as much as I can. Just doing what I
Right.
can do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you played against some big schools. I mean, your team didn't have the best record, but
Hmm.
you you had Alabama.
Oh
Although,
yeah.
having said that, you didn't seem to be playing the whole game. Like, were you on a restricted like snap count or something? Like, what was going on?
A lot of those games, like when they were decided, they got me up out of there. Like
Okay,
once it was decided what was gonna happen, they got me out of there. They really didn't keep me out there for a lot of garbage time. Just trying to keep me fresh and keep me injury free.
okay, right, yeah. I mean, I've actually I didn't realize that Jason Huntley came out of New Mexico State.
Oh
He
yeah, that's my guy.
is, dude. I'd say he was like top three running, like top five running back out of the draft.
Hmm.
Like
Oh yeah,
his speed and he had that double spin move against
yeah.
App
Central
State,
Michigan.
Central Michigan. That's right. Yeah,
Central Michigan. Yeah,
man. He's, I mean,
yeah. He amazing. He's amazing.
right. Yeah. So do you have? I mean, I'll give you a little bit of a background on me. Like, I've never played.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Australia. I'm in Australia right now, but I just love the game. I've been following it closely for like 3 years now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't even know like how much do you interact with offensive guys, like as a defensive player?
Really, on my team, it's really often. Like
Okay,
I spend a lot of time around offensive guys. Not so much the offensive linemen, but just like
right.
receivers and stuff. Like those are always my boys. Receivers and running backs. For some reason, like we just click. I don't know why, but those are always my boys.
Okay.
I try to spread out the love as much as I can. I stay with every position group.
So not the offensive lineman. I suppose you're going up against them in practice, right? You got to
Yeah,
keep it a
yeah.
bit
I'm not the
competitive.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of offensive linemen, so I just let them do what they do. Offensive linemen and quarterbacks.
Yeah, you got to get after them, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but you got Jason Huntley, and did Javon Ferguson come out the same year as you, or were you before?
correct.
Same
Yeah,
year.
he came out with me too.
Yeah, dude, he's NFL caliber too. I would say
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's legit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Very good player.
yeah. So I'm just, there's NFL guys on your roster. It's just you had a hard time winning. I guess a lot of like football's obviously a team sport though, right? So
Mhm.
everyone's got to be cohesive and playing well, right?
Mhm. Yeah. It's he definitely had NFL talent. Just wasn't the right time. The right combination of guys. I guess I don't know, but 2017 was probably the one year where we just really put it together and we won that ball game.
Right,
But other than that, it was just we didn't have the right pieces there at the right time. And it happened.
right. Um, I mean, I think that stats when you're scouting, stats are useful in maybe identifying like outlier talent, like guys that have insane sack counts or like their measurables are like
Mm-hmm.
insane. But you can't be relying just on stats, and maybe scouting is going towards that a bit for the wrong reasons. Like, just use your eyes, man. Like, is this guy?
Yeah.
You know, what I like about you is that you've got counters, and also, and I'll chuck up some of your game film in a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
but you have really good situational awareness. Like, there's little things that guys who've spent a lot of time watching film and practicing, and obviously getting in shape to like physically execute the moves, is that you can't just have all traits. You can't just have
Yeah.
all the athletic ability. You've got to understand what to do in certain situations, And
Mm-hmm.
what point was I trying to get to with that? But yeah, I don't know what point I was trying to get to. I just started rambling.
It's all good.
Um, oh yeah, my point was, your redshirt junior year, you had more impressive stats than your redshirt senior year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just from a bit of a glance. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
why do you think that was?
My senior year, we had a lot of young guys around me, and then my right hand man, Roy Lopez, he went down like
Okay,
first game of the season. So that took a big hit from the D line. So I was pretty much out there by myself, essentially. I mean, not out there by myself, but I had a lot of tension on me.
okay,
So I got a lot of slide and double teams and running backs chipping me
okay.
and just stuff like that. So I felt like that's probably what led to the decrease in production.
Yeah. So, if you're getting that much attention, and you're obviously the guy, I mean, can NFL scouts appreciate that?
Man, I'm hoping so. I mean, like I said, I don't know what they're thinking, what
Yeah.
or what's going on back there behind closed doors. I can just only control what I can control. So if they see that, that'd be good for me. But if not, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that might be the answer. Like, I mean, if the offense's game plan is to shut down just you, then obviously you're making a huge difference, right?
So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll throw on some of that film. Um, I think this is actually one of the first times I'm using Zoom, so I'll just double check that this is all running all right.
Oh yeah, this is my first time using it.
Right.
Using it.
I mean, I think this company's worth billions of dollars now after COVID.
Oh, oh yeah.
I mean,
If one person benefited off of it, it was definitely Zoom.
right. There's a funny video by Internet Historian, a YouTuber, who talks
Mm-hmm.
about like all the shenanigans that's been going on during the virus, and he highlights this guy who just jumps in on Zoom meetings, because you can just hand out like the Zoom key, and so he's
Mm-hmm.
this dude who's just like he just crashes the Zoom meeting just completely shirtless, and he's just got like rolls. It's pretty awesome. So hopefully
Yeah,
you
you
didn't do that. Hopefully you didn't do that, and someone crashes this meeting.
man.
All right, so I will just share this screen and see how this goes. So yeah, so we've got Cedric Wilcots college highlights, and it's Swaggy E Productions.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know who that person is?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah,
Right.
it's a guy I trained with out here. He was recording all the workouts and stuff, and he he said he could put something together for me. So
Right.
I let him do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like it as a amateur scout, because I must have watched film on
Mm-hmm.
over 1,000 players in the
Mm-hmm.
last draft season. So having the highlights there is definitely helpful. I mean, otherwise I'd have to be going into New Mexico State tape and then having to be watch the offense. If like you just want to, if you see a
Yeah.
name, you're like, all right, I want to sort of check them off.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make it as efficient as possible, and the
Oh yeah.
highlights do that. And I've heard scouts say, well, you can't just grade based on highlights, but it does show what the player is capable of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like if I see an edge defender who just like shoots past the offensive tackle, but doesn't read that it's like, I don't know, just a dive play, just like straight behind center, which means that you're
Yeah.
completely out of the play,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, I can almost say, well, sorry, if you're doing that, then I'm not sure if you're, and if that is considered your best play from your highlights, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I can consider you, um, an NFL caliber talent. I mean,
For
I like
sure.
to watch a couple of minutes of a guy just to sense like whether they're legit or not. But
Mm-hmm.
some guys, like some guys in the NFL, it takes me days to sort of evaluate them properly because they've got so much to their game, so much
Yeah.
nuance
Mm-hmm.
and like situational awareness and stuff. All right. So can you see what I'm seeing? This Swaggy E Productions on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I mean, it must feel pretty cool to have a highlight video of yourself, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very humbling. It's
Right.
nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to try and get into making highlight videos because some guys, don't have them.
Oh yeah, it's very hard to find a good person that highlight videos.
So you're seeing the play unfold right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there you are. So that's a spin move. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably just keep going over this and like get your take on it.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, not to get caught up on like measurables, but you're like 6'3",
Mhm.
250, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but like, I would say you probably are best as just like a four tech, like a D
Mhm.
end, but having just because you're so good at rushing the passer, but I would say if guys are playing on an odd front, you can start way outside like a Von Miller,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And like, I think just from watching the tape, I think you're probably athletic enough to play off-ball linebacker as well and cover a bit. So,
Mhm.
because like
Yeah, just whatever's needed.
right, do you have much experience with that?
Not really. Most of my time in New Mexico State, my hand was in the dirt all the time. But I
Yep,
feel like I'm more than capable of doing whatever a team needs.
yep. Would they ever send you out in coverage just on like weird blitz packages
Oh
from?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. I got a highlight where I got like an actual pass breakup
nice.
and actual coverage, so that was cool.
That's got to scare the QB, man. Like
Oh
if you're
yeah.
after him all day and then suddenly you're like breaking up a pass, and like I guess like if you got a QB's job, I mean you got to kind of understand like how they're getting paid so much, especially because
Mm.
coaches don't sub them out, and I feel like I feel bad for a guy like Mitch Trubisky. Do you watch much NFL, by the way? Because some guys just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
yeah. Trubisky's out there passing like 70% of the time, and
Hmm.
like you've got to think that like that workload is a lot, and
Yeah.
as a QB, like you've got like the weight of your team on your shoulders a lot of the time, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how would you go at QB?
What's that now?
How would you go at QB?
How
Have
would I
you?
go at QB?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I never actually had to play quarterback ever in my life, but uh, once they like a guy like Trubisky, like that's tough. 70% of the time, just because if the defense knows you're throwing the ball 70% of the time, the pass rushers they're pretty much their ears are pinned back all the time
Right.
because they know more times than not the ball's going in the air, and that's going to be real tough on the quarterback for real. And then the DBs, once they hear that too, it's pretty much open season. So
Right.
that makes the job 10 times tougher when you're that pass heavy.
That's interesting, man. I mean, like,
Yeah.
analytics say you should pass it more, but like there's simple anecdotes like that
Mm.
prove that. And this is why I love football so much, is that it's such a there's so much little strategies that go into it, right? You've got to keep
Oh
the
yeah.
D line and stuff and the whole defense honest with the run. And the Bears
Hmm.
looked awesome when they had Jordan Howard
Oh
as
yeah.
as a running back, and then they
Hmm.
traded him to the Eagles for like a 6th round pick. And I
Yeah.
love Tarek Cohen so much, but like, you know, he can't be carrying the load as a
Yeah. Not
back.
every down back.
Right.
He's a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I think he's best as a receiver. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, he's
I,
definitely
I
dangerous.
think you'd want him in space, and like he's so
Hmm.
fun to watch, right? Makes
Oh
everyone
yeah.
miss. He could make 3 guys miss pretty much each play, guaranteed.
Hmm.
I feel.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Because guys that small, they're so hard to tackle.
Right.
They're so hard to tackle.
Can you drop any names of guys that you played against that might not be getting that much attention, but um, you really thought were impressive?
Let me think. 'Cause most of the guys I played against that were nice, they actually have a lot of attention on them. So let
Okay.
me think of a guy that hadn't got just a whole lot. A guy that was actually that impressed me a lot. I don't think he's on the roster either. The guy from UTEP, the quarterback. He's pretty much like a one man
From
team over there.
a guy
Ty
from.
Loxley, Ty Loxley from UTEP.
Dude,
Yeah,
yes. Funny you say that,
yeah,
man. Yeah, I mean, he's like. I mean, he was like Lamar with the ball in his hands running,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He was. Yeah, he was. I played against him. They're our rival. So
Yep.
I played against him a couple times. I've sacked him a few times too.
I saw
But
that. Very
yeah, so
nice.
he's pretty. He's pretty much like a one man team over there. So
Right,
that team goes, he goes, and he's impressive. Big
right.
guy too in person. He's pretty good sized dude.
Yeah. Dude, it's cool. It's cool to say that. It sounds like maybe I'm on the right track with my scouting then, because um, I I think just because his strength is with his legs, I would actually move
Hmm.
him to receiver.
For sure, for sure. He isn't just an amazing thrower. He did make a couple throws, but
Yep.
he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like 6'4", probably 220 or something,
Yeah,
and probably 4'4" speed or something. So,
yeah, he's nice.
right. Interesting you say that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Are there any other guys that might have popped into your head? Just because I'm always looking for names, man. Because
yeah,
I love that. I just love finding that guy who's
yeah.
like super underrated.
Let me think. Let me think. The quarterback from Liberty, he was pretty good, but
Okay.
his decision making was a little iffy, but he can really throw the ball with a lot of heat.
Okay.
Buckshot Calvert, uh,
His name's Buckshot. All right.
Buckshot Calvert, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check
He
him out.
he he had a guy that he was throwing to though. That he plays for Redskins now. Gandy Golden.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was his quarterback. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm really interested in how well, this QB's stats are really high because the receivers are great, and then like vice
Hmm.
versa. It's like,
Hmm.
and then the offensive line. You have to take into account the offensive line. It's like
Yeah.
it's that's why I think scouts have got to be looking just eye test primarily
Hmm.
because there's all sorts of variables that can go into really good statistical performance, right?
Correct.
Yeah, interesting that. So, as a D lineman, you do observe that QBs are making bad decisions, right? Like, and that's seen.
Yeah.
So, how do
Yeah.
you see that?
Just that the week of preparation before, just seeing like, okay, is he a guy that's gonna go to his first read most times, and we try to take away that first read, and if I can get there fast enough, maybe I can get him to panic, and he'll just throw to that first read, and my DB sitting right there for a pick six or just a guy who wants to hold on to the ball for a little longer. You know, is he looking downfield, or is he looking for check downs? You know, just seeing what type of quarterback he's playing for the week.
Right. Okay. So there is a lot of prep. Okay, that's good. Um, all right. So I'll just roll this tape. I'll just be rewinding it a fair bit just to break it down, as I mentioned. So
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
you're in that sprinter's stance to
Yeah, it's
really
like
like.
that.
So what are you thinking at the moment? Because the tackle keeps up with you.
Uh-huh.
Like, were you trying to just get straight past him, or?
I noticed it's right before halftime,
Yep.
so they're trying to go deep. So
Uh,
I know it's a pass, so I'm out a little wider, and I'm in
okay.
there like that little track stance.
Yeah.
So I got there wide just so I know that I can bring him out to me. He's gonna be threatened because I'm so wide. So if I get him to sprint out real fast, I can spin back under him. He's gonna be expecting that. So
Right.
that was the whole
Man.
plan there.
See, yeah. I mean, you got to have your wits about you every single position, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So roll the tape. I should do it in slow mo. So you just hit him with that spin right away, and he's just pretty much
Uh-huh.
out of the
Yeah,
picture. And the DB probably should have picked you up, right?
yeah,
But
definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think he was expecting me to spin either. So once I got past him, he thought I had did an outside rush, I think. And then when I spun back, it was too late.
right. Have you over the years, like, because the NFL's cracking down on like helmet to helmet, so
Hmm.
have you had to adjust your training at all for that?
Um, Not more so your training, but just your on field awareness. I don't think it's just something you can just train for. It's just like when it happens, you have to be able
Yeah,
to think. You have to be on your toes to be like, okay, let me get my head out of there, or let me get my head to the side. You know,
yeah.
because I almost got ejected against Alabama. Matter of fact, on tour, I I pushed them real hard, and
Okay,
I guess they thought I had led with my helmet or something. But
right.
you just got to be aware of where you are on a guy and how you coming in, how you plan to bring him back.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I would understand that you just, yeah. I mean, preparation is key, and then once you're in there,
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of it is just simply like read and react, right? So even when
Hmm.
it comes to tackling, yeah, you got to be like physically fit enough to be able to
Yeah,
adapt to certain situations.
yeah, right
Like
there on the fly. It's not really much you can like train on
yeah,
that part of it.
right. All right. So I was thinking if I did manage to get you on here, I was like this play tells you what kind of player you are. Like you're actually paying attention, playing hard on special teams.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of guys take this play off. You can actually see in the video, like if you like look around, like it's pretty much me and the kicker is like the only one that's actually going. Everybody else just kind of stop
Yeah.
and they think the ball's gone.
Yeah. And this guy on the edge just giving a light little shove, almost helping
Yeah,
the edge
yeah,
defender
yeah,
there get there. It's like,
yeah,
why are you giving your own kicker more pressure than he needs? And it's like such an easy kick, which
oh
should
yeah,
be. Like NFL guys are doing this, man. So this is why it's frustrating that I don't see your name like on a team because,
hmm,
like, yeah, I mean, kickers in the NFL are constantly getting pressure because they're, um, the edge protectors aren't doing their job. So, and like you could
yeah,
play on your size and athleticism means you could play on like special teams, like all manner of special teams. I feel
yeah,
right.
correct. Yeah,
I mean, you could rush the punter, and then you could make the tackle on the other end,
hmm,
right? You could
yeah,
block guys,
I feel like I can do just about anything needed on special teams.
right?
You know,
Yeah, yeah. So here you are getting that SWAT down, and I suppose you've had experience on every package, like special teams package.
uh, punt return, just punt return and field goal block. They
Okay,
didn't really use me a lot in special teams at New Mexico State just because they wanted to keep me healthy.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're showing off those bunnies, right?
Oh yeah,
Did you do some testing? You would have had a pro day, although it was COVID's messing things up, right?
yeah. We actually made our pro day happen right before the COVID hit.
Right.
So I
Eh,
actually got a chance to.
nice. And you would have
Mhm.
had NFL scouts there, right?
Yeah, I had a few there, but they were all coming for Jason Huntley. You know, once he did what he did, you know, they pretty much just following him around the whole time. But it really wasn't any
Jason, man, come
scouting.
on, you got to spread the love a
Oh yeah,
bit.
oh yeah, it's all good. Once you got a guy like that running 4-3, you know, I understand it. You know.
Right. I was maybe a little bit lazy. I didn't see your pro day numbers, but were you happy with them? Like,
Not all of them, just because most of them, like I only got a chance to go like have one attempt at it. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? So you know, I felt like the first attempt isn't gonna be the best attempt all the time, but you know, I made the most of my opportunity. My numbers weren't bad at all, but
yeah,
just for my standards, you know, they weren't up to where I wanted to be at. But they were
right,
okay.
okay, yeah. Do you have much track experience?
No track experience
Okay,
at all.
right.
I
I'm just
played
interested.
basketball.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I played basketball growing up.
Yeah, so I've played a lot of basketball myself, and I guess like lateral agility, leaping and ball skills and stuff like that can be improved from
Hmm.
having played basketball, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely, especially the feet, the footwork. You know,
Okay,
being able to feet and hips, being able to move around blockers and you know
yeah,
sidestep them and things of that nature.
right, yeah. So yeah, I guess. Do you mind if I'll just look up what your
So
numbers
go ahead.
were in your pro day, just because I'm interested. Like,
Mm,
um, you're getting up and blocking a kick, so you've got pretty insane um,
yeah,
vertical. You would you would assume, right? So 4.740 for a D end. That's impressive.
yeah, it's pretty good.
So how do the scouts are like, oh yeah, Jason ran that, but Cedric's running this? It's like I just feel like you're ticking off all the boxes, and then so can you think of any reason why you haven't got much serious NFL attention?
I really have no clue. Like my background isn't bad or you know anything of that nature. You
Right.
know, I didn't get in trouble at all at Mexico State. I got suspended for 2 games for a academic problem, but
Okay.
other than that, it was I had a clean slate.
Yeah. In regards to playing college ball and not really benefiting financially from it,
Hmm.
um, it must be kind of tough to have felt like you bring so much attention upon the school and then uh, not having a nice bank account at the end, right? So do
Yeah.
you see? I wonder how things will change. Do you know?
Uh, I really don't, but that stuff right there is very tough when you put it all out on the line for your university for 5 years, and then like even the time before that, even the high school and the little league practices, and just all the work leading up to this point,
Yeah,
and then when it comes and it doesn't happen, it's kind of tough. You know, of course it's gonna send you for a loop because you're finally being able to get paid for all this hard work.
yeah,
And when it doesn't happen, you just got to keep on pushing. Because I had teammates in the past that gone through the same situation. And I asked them the same thing, and they just man, you got to take it day by day. So that's all I'm doing right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I read somewhere that maybe I think the Supreme Court ruled that it was unfair to not to have a rule to literally not pay players. You know, like the
Mm-hmm.
NCAA is doing its best to not pay players. By the look of it, I'm interested as rival professional leagues, the NFL become more prominent. Like hopefully the XFL does well. Maybe they'll
Mm-hmm.
start bringing in guys who could be college eligible, but guys want to
Mm-hmm.
get paid. And the XFL I feel like
Yeah.
was still prominent enough to get an NFL scout attention.
Oh yeah.
Would you play in the CFL?
Oh yes, I definitely play in the CFL or the XFL, whichever, you know what I'm saying, whatever league comes calling. But I honestly do feel like next year, when next year comes out, I'll most likely land in the CFL. I feel like,
CFL?
yeah, if the NFL, doesn't call, because I'm always there for that. But if that doesn't happen, yeah, I can definitely see myself in Canada.
Okay. So yeah, so you've got an agent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So they're
yeah,
looking for opportunities for you in Canada. Although I think the CFL just cancelled their whole damn season.
yeah. It's not happening this year for sure. I
Yeah.
think the NFL is probably gonna be the only league seriously playing
It's
full blast.
what's that? Sorry.
I said I think the NFL is going to be about the only league playing just full blast because
Okay.
I don't think college is going to be able to keep this up. Honestly,
Right.
the,
Yeah. I
the,
think.
the few teams that are playing.
Yeah. Man, it's a testing time. It'll show people's patience and
Oh yeah,
yeah. So and I guess it's got to happen to someone, and it's just happening to you, just coming out at this time, right?
yeah. It's just bad timing. It is what it is though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, do you know if there's a precedent for CFL taking on college eligible players who just want to get paid?
I, yeah, I'm not really sure on that. I haven't really looked much into that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've dreamed of starting an Australian league and bringing guys over.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
that'd be awesome.
yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Um,
Yeah.
I just got to get a bit of capital behind me. Um,
Hmm.
but the NFL is the biggest game in the world, obviously. But
Hmm.
yeah, as rival leagues start up, I guess that means that they'll always be looking for talent. So and
Hmm.
then that will then pressure the NCAA to say, all right, these rival leagues are poaching our players, so maybe we should start paying guys, right? Because the colleges are
Yeah.
making millions of dollars from you guys.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. So all your numbers look pretty good, and the tape shows it, man. So yeah, I guess you just got to keep doing what you're doing. I guess it's tough because you can't really show any more recent tape than what you had at New Mexico State, right? So I guess that's why the
Yeah.
CFL would not only put some money in your pocket, but also show off what you've been working on, that sort of thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, sir. Give them a more updated look of what's going on, and then just showing them I can play on a professional level at the
Right.
same time.
Yeah. So we'll just roll the tape again. So you lined up like all over the place, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in a 4 hour right there. Yeah,
Right.
inside the tackle.
Yeah. And I had a look at your like scouts.com, whatever, and you actually came out of high school listed as a defensive tackle. Is that right?
Yeah, I started out in college as a defensive tackle also my
Right.
first couple of years. So I didn't start playing defensive end like in my whole life until my sophomore year, my redshirt sophomore year at college. That was my first time.
Right. Okay. So obviously that goes to show that you'd be able to stop the run because you can get because you weren't I don't know you weren't ever like 300 pounds or anything, were you?
No, I
No.
was I was always a cylinder frame defensive tackle.
Right. Yeah. But like
Yeah.
obviously that means that it proves that you've got good leverage and stuff if you can hold up a
Mm.
defensive tackle if you're smaller than what the NFL guys
Yeah.
are like at D tackle.
Oh yeah, those are 300 plus anything at D tackle. Most guys are or about 280 plus, 285 plus.
Yeah.
Uh, the highest I got in college was like 250, 255.
Right. So I saw that you watch a lot of Von Miller and Dwight
Hmm.
Freeney.
Hmm.
Um, are there any other guys that you sort of look at as like guys to model your game after?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, like you said, Von Miller and Dwight Freeney is always nice to look at. I really like watching guys like Khalil Mack has a very nice long arm.
Yeah,
It's amazing. I've really been trying to add that to my bag. Aaron Donald is always a great guy to watch, even though he's inside. You know, he plays outside too. He's all over the place.
mm,
Just watching how he slides past blockers and does his thing. And J.J. Watt's always a good guy too.
yeah,
With the rip move that he has. Just taking little parts of different guys' games. And, trying to put my little flair on it. And,
right,
work it to the best of my ability.
yeah, yeah. There's always something to work on, right?
Oh
Just
yeah,
always something to improve on. So I mean, yeah, and you wore number 10, right? So
yeah,
it seems like that is a special number for a lineman because usually they're in the sort of 90s. Like, were you? Oh,
yeah,
there's your guy, Kai Loxley.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. Um, so yeah, was that number specially given to you or anything?
Um, Not really, because when I came out of in high school I was actually number 5. So when
Okay,
I came to college, I wanted that same number, but it was already taken. And my freshman year, I just had to take whatever number they gave to me. And then the next year, when I actually started playing, my redshirt freshman year, the guy with number 10 left. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely take that. And, I just took it and ran with it.
I wonder, like, do you feel like you deserve like to have your jersey retired or something like that sort of
That
thing?
would that would definitely be nice, one day. I am fourth all time, I think, in my school's history in sacks.
Right,
That would be a nice. That would be nice if that happened. I'm not sweating it if it doesn't, but I'd definitely be open for that opportunity if that ever happened.
right, yeah. You seem like you have the good attitude where you just like, accolades are nice and stuff, but it's like it's really just what you're doing on a day-to-day basis that's important, right?
Yeah, yeah. The accolades are gonna come with when you're doing what you're supposed to do. So you just take those on the way on the path to where you're going.
Yeah. And do you have like what age do you think you can play football until? Because that I guess that gives you like a little bit of a window to say, yeah, I can just keep training. Do you know what
I
I mean?
think it's kind of hard to tell right now because you never know how time will go. But
Yeah.
hopefully, God willing, I can play into my early 30s.
Yeah. I mean, you have a pretty similar physical profile to Cam Wake,
Mm.
and I don't think he played much for the Titans last year, but he was contributing at like
Oh
age
yeah,
37 at the end,
oh yeah,
right? So that could be
mm.
in your future too. And like,
Yeah.
because you are, I feel like, so I had you second as an edge defender behind James Smith Williams. Does that name ring a
Mm.
bell?
What school did we go to?
He was out of NC State.
Oh yeah, I didn't. We didn't really play many guys over there, so that's probably why I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah. He was drafted by the Washington football team. Interesting. I used to
know.
call the Washington football team the Washington football team before that it was official. That's so
Oh yeah,
that, yeah. I
that's
thought
crazy.
I thought Redskins was just off, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
It was about time they changed it. I thought they were actually come up with an actual name.
It's
But I
awkward
mean,
saying it
hey,
now. Yeah.
yeah, I just say Washington. Just call them Washington.
Yeah. What would you call him?
Just Washington. Just call them Washington.
Washington. Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Like, this is why I got to get a higher profile on Twitter because I remember I tweeted out like it should be Washington Senators or something like have it to do with
Hmm.
government.
Yeah.
Um, and that was ages ago. So if only they
Hmm.
listened. If only they listened then.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, but James Smith Williams, I thought. Yeah, I mean I guess he just he did everything that you can do, just maybe just a little bit better.
Hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, just rolling this tape again. All right, so I've got to just find you. Yeah, so just straight through. I
Yeah.
guess what was the best?
They got.
What was that? Sorry.
What's that? I was just saying they. I was right in between the tackle and the guard, so
Yeah.
the tackle was pressing out. I think it was a guy blitzing off the edge outside of me, if I'm not sure.
Yeah, there, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
standing
So
up.
he kind of
Yeah,
took he kind of took his attention. So when I just it was enough time for me to shoot that gap and get in between them.
right. Football is such a game of microseconds. I feel
Hmm.
because this edge guy, he's not actually rushing, but he takes the tackle's attention, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So this guy's going out into coverage, but it still affects the play, right? So
yeah, big time.
yeah. So when I say microseconds, it's like that guy could have just not feigned the rush at all,
Hmm.
but the pass could have gotten out, because you
Hmm.
wouldn't have been in the quarterback's
Yeah,
face.
yeah. It's just the little things in football.
Yeah,
The smallest things can be the difference in the entire play.
yeah. So you get to the guy here.
Yeah, go Ferguson right there too.
Yeah. I remember, I feel like linebackers are always so passionate. Like if they make a stop, like
Hmm.
they're always
Oh yeah,
celebrating.
oh yeah, most definitely. And Ferg is definitely the guy for that.
Yeah, I'd like to interview him actually. Maybe I could
It's
interview him with you at some point.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm actually gonna talk to him today.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll definitely do you have his Twitter?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, yeah,
do
you
I have
can
his? Yeah, I do. Yeah.
yeah, you can definitely message him on there, and I'll even let him know that you will be messaging him, so he can get back to you quickly.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna talk to him today.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Any offensive tackles that you played against that stand out as quality, even though you don't want to give
Uh,
guy credit, the
um,
rival guy
of
credit.
course the guy from Alabama Wills he was legit. He was a hell of an athlete,
Right.
and actually a guy that's on my team, Sage Doxator, he definitely has a chance to play on the next level. Big guy,
Nice.
huge. He's about 6'7", 330.
Wow.
Huge guy. Canada. He's from Canada. I think he was supposed to come out this year, but he had a shoulder injury, so he redshirted. And he's supposed to be one of the top picks in the Canada draft when he comes in.
Okay.
And
What
he's
was his?
legit. He's a good guy.
Right. Interesting how those Canadians get brought down into the States.
Yeah.
So this must be scouts there, or I think a lot of the time it seems like it is up to the players hustling and sending out tape, right?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. Especially when you're that far. When you're that far away.
Yeah. What was his name? Sage.
Dox Tater. Doxtater, something like that. I think that's
Right.
yeah. You should be able to find him. He won't be hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose 6'7", 330 is hard to miss, eh?
Oh yeah, very hard to miss.
So I'll keep rolling this tape. What happened there? Was that a strip sack?
Oh yeah.
Even knowing that you got to put your right hand there to get at the ball, right?
Yeah, I didn't even feel I hit the ball. I actually thought he had got rid of it, and I was looking for the ball. I was like, oh, it's
Right.
behind me.
And that's
I thought he got
important,
rid of
man.
it. Yeah.
Finishing plays, like it's not over until the
Oh yeah,
ball's
it's
in
not
the
over till it's over.
end zone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be celebrating too early.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so this play is like Von Miller-esque, right? And this is what I was saying
Yeah.
about like situational awareness, knowing that it's a
Mm.
passing down, right? So you can
Yeah.
like the tackle, you're like the
Yeah.
tackle
I
gets his
jumped out
hands
onto
on
the
you,
track.
but and also like you obviously have good enough bend to recover if like a
Mm.
tackle does push you a little bit outside. And
Mm.
this guy's having a bad day at this point.
Yeah, it's
Oh
pretty
god.
bad.
So you're coming from this end.
I
It's
actually could have
tough.
got a targeting call right there.
Yeah, maybe. It's
Yeah.
tough. I
This,
suppose like
yeah,
you're
this,
working so hard to get past the tackle and then it's like, oh, I've got to worry about my damn
yeah,
helmet.
yeah. Happy they didn't call it right there.
Yeah.
This, yeah, this play right here is actually from my freshman year. I'm a defense tackle right here in this play.
All right.
This play coming up, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
that
it's my
spin.
freshman year.
You were doing that as a
Yeah,
freshman?
yeah. That's my first ever sack.
Is it? God, man. So, see, yeah, you've got to understand, like, so what is it, 3rd and 5? So, I mean,
Hmm.
they could run a draw play, right? Is that in the back of
Right.
your mind?
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely in the back of my mind. But once we seen plenty of film on them. They wasn't a big draw team. Like Georgia Southern is an option team. So when they got in the gun, they were pretty much going to throw the ball every time they got in this deep gun split out like this.
Right.
So I knew he was going to have to throw the ball.
Yep. Yeah, so the guard's thinking that he's in a good pass set, got his hands there, and then you just like remove them completely.
Yeah, just disappear on them almost.
Yeah. That's nice. First sack.
Yeah.
Of like it was like high 20s or something on your career, was it? That
Low 20, about 20 on the head.
yeah.
Yeah.
And getting a sack is big time, right? Like so much has
Oh
to
yeah.
you have to do so much right.
Oh yeah. Everything has to go perfect.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking about it. You would so I've spent a lot of the last few months grading NFL, pretty much the whole NFL guys who got snaps, and
Mm.
so I rated you. I I really should watch more tape on you though. I watched. I think I watched this highlight video and then a fair few New Mexico State highlight videos. But like,
Mm.
you know, I grade based on how much would I pay a guy on a per year basis.
Uh-huh.
So that gives you an understanding of like, you know, should I go after this guy in free agency? You know, we've already got some quality players at his position. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But like, I'd pay you $16 million a year.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice right now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I mean, you know, DNs are getting big deals, and you know,
Yeah,
if you
he is.
just get your opportunity and you prove that you can play, then I think it could be in your future, man.
Yeah, man. God willing, man. I appreciate that though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So you know, you being worth 16 mil a year would place you in like top 20 edge defenders in the league from day one.
Mm.
So every team could use you, man. I mean, I was
Yeah.
thinking, I feel like because I like to follow the teams that have been struggling for a while, just thinking about how, you know, how could they get back to the glory days? And so I follow the
Hmm.
Jets. You know, poor old Jets haven't had too much success lately. And I feel like
Hmm.
you would come in and you would be their best player.
Man, God willing, man. I'd really like for them to give me an opportunity, man. I could definitely help them out a lot over there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, this is why I'm doing this video, just these videos, just because, you know, if it can convince a scout or just, you know, generate a little bit more hype.
Yeah,
Um,
just anything to help, man. That's why I
yeah.
appreciate this a lot, man.
So so that's that spin move. So yeah, this I guess the center there has got his hands full. Was that like a design, like the defensive tackle going into your space, or was it just like a one-on-one sort of pass set?
I think it just like kind of happened that way. The
Mm,
the nose guard the nose guard got the attention of the center, and then once I saw I was like 1-on-1, then I could really do what I can do. This
right.
is my chance.
And the fact that like you're seeing this stuff, and you know this is split second. So you're like,
Oh yeah,
oh, one-on-one, here we go,
1-on-1. Yeah, gotta
boom,
make it happen. Man.
yeah. See, the running back didn't help. I mean, maybe it
Yeah,
was you came so quick that it was hard for him to help. But that's important
yeah.
in grading a running back is how well are they pass protecting, right?
Oh yeah, it's kind of the same thing that happened against the earlier play with Liberty. Like they'll sit there for a second, and, then once they don't see any direct threat, then their eyes are off. They give me enough time to do what I need to do and
Right.
make a play.
I suppose like if you're one on one with the running back, like do you get a bit of joy in just like meeting
Oh
a
yeah,
smaller blocker than normal?
oh yeah, for sure. Most guys we try to cut me, trying to take my legs
Okay.
from under me. So
Yeah.
you got to be aware from those type of dudes too.
Yeah.
But anytime you one on one with running back is great.
Yeah. I think there were. I watched some. Who was it? I think Brandon Graham drove a few running backs into quarterbacks last
Oh
season.
yeah,
That must be a crazy feeling as well, man.
oh yeah, that's an amazing play. You doing that?
Yeah. Right. So this is your good play recognition. So
Mhm.
you're not committing fully to the QB, so that the option is on.
Mhm.
But you're making sure that the QB can't get away if he holds onto it.
Yeah, that's just really just keeping your
Yeah.
eyes disciplined.
It's also like that. Maybe it's back to that basketball because you sort of keep your arms out and your hips wide so that you can go
Yeah,
in any direction, right?
yeah, yeah. Just whatever I do, just make sure I keep him inside of me.
Right. And that, yeah, where are they in the? That's a pretty big play because they could second and 11 because they could get in the end zone, which would hurt a lot going into halftime. Is that
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. This was a big game too. This was the game we needed to go to be bowl eligible in my
Wow.
sophomore year.
Okay. And did you get the W?
Oh yeah, we went bowling. It was like the first bowl win in like 60 years
What?
in New
So
Mexico State.
yeah, so your team was like historically good.
Yeah, that 2017 team was like the one of the best teams in like school history. Just because all the other years we were pretty much notoriously bad,
Right.
but that year we had a winning season. If you get a chance, you should definitely go watch that game. It's one of the
Okay.
best games I've ever been a part of. It's a joy to watch against Utah State. It's a joy to watch.
2017 bowl.
Yeah, Arizona Bowl, New Mexico State against Utah State. We ended up winning the overtime.
All right.
Yeah.
That's clutch, man. Like, I mean, I haven't played sport at a high level, and
Mhm.
like, not only would your body be worn down towards the end of the game, but you've got to keep mentally alert enough to not stuff up and make a
Oh
play,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
How was your whole college experience? Because did you feel like you were kind of the guy on campus and like you had a fair bit of clout, that sort of thing?
Me, I try to stay far away as possible. Stuff like that.
Right.
I'm a pretty level headed guy. I don't let too much get me too high or stuff get me too down. I just
Yeah.
try to keep it at the same level at all times. But I definitely enjoyed my time in New Mexico State with my guys. It was definitely a nice experience.
Do you have many interests outside of football that you like sort of spend time on?
Oh yeah, I'm actually very good at video games. Like that's my thing right now. Especially with this quarantine going on.
Yeah.
I've been heavy on the video games and the working out and stuff. Just that and basketball. Like I don't play basketball anymore, but I follow basketball a lot. Like that's my thing.
Yeah, I saw you were tweeting about some Mavs games. I mean, like the hometown
Oh
team,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah. Luca's doing it big for us right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean the Mavs have had some down years after they won that chip, right?
Oh yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, Doncic, Porzingis, and they got a bunch of really solid role
Yeah,
players, I feel.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, they're up against the Clippers, right? So,
yeah. This is gonna be a tough one to win. You know, if we can pull it off, oh, it'd be amazing. But you know, it wouldn't be a shocker if we lost the series.
yeah, yeah. But like most of the guys on that team are pretty young still, so I
Oh
mean, you want to
yeah,
win every game, but I guess there's like, well, you know, although Porzingis might be entering his prime, yeah,
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Once Porzingis gets 100% comfortable on his knee, I think he's gonna be lights out.
Mm. So, do you play much Madden?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I've been playing that a fair bit. I think they really improved from 2019 to 2020 because I don't know if you'd ever throw like a ball into the slant and then in the old game the linebacker could just pick it off and it was like
oh
no
yeah,
human
yeah.
could move that quickly,
Oh yeah,
right?
they definitely changed that. The new ones just about to come out too.
Yeah,
21. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's good to see. Like, what a way to make money, huh? Like charging like $80 each year for a game that
Man,
really isn't that different.
yeah. Hopefully I can get on the next one.
Yeah, man. Although, yeah, they treat rookies pretty rough. Like, it's rare for them to get above like 75.
Oh yeah, it's rough. It's rough, which is expected, but it's all good though.
So you had that neck brace on. I mean, not to just talk about people's appearance, which doesn't really matter,
Oh
but
yeah,
like, did you? What was that about?
my freshman year, the first year I got hurt. I was having that's the reason why I redshirted my true freshman year. I was having stinger problems like in
Right.
my on the side of my neck and stuff, and they told me I had to wear that. I really didn't want to wear it at first, honestly, but I had my best season wearing it,
Oh yeah.
surprisingly.
But
So yeah, that's the story behind that. Why I had that on. I usually don't wear it, but I had to wear it that year for like
like
extra precaution.
the doctors said you had to.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks kind of badass. Like Leighton Van Der Esch wears it,
yeah.
yeah. And a guy who went to UTEP. Did you would have played against Will Hernandez?
I definitely played a few games against Will Hernandez.
Yeah, I think he has a neck brace, and I thought he
Yeah,
was like, I thought he's even a little bit better than Quentin Nelson, and probably like a top 10 player in the
he
draft.
yeah he was a solid guy. That's probably the most just solid guy I've ever ran into because he's just a once you see him, especially when he has his pads on, he's just a wall,
Right.
literally almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, but yeah, he was out of UTEP, so like, and
Hmm.
yeah, Kai Loxley. I think he did land on a training camp roster. I feel. Was
Okay,
it the
I'm not
Tex?
sure.
I think it might have been the Texans, which is interesting because like
Okay.
Deshaun Watson can run and throw, and
Hmm.
so can Loxley. But I'm interested, like, how if coaches can identify that maybe a player is suited to a different position,
Hmm.
if they might be, you know. Because like
Yeah.
as a receiver, I'd have him as probably he should have been a first round pick. As a QB, maybe a later rounds guy. So
Uh-huh.
that's
For
what I
sure.
feel. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so how did that stinger problem go away? Because I've had that too.
Yeah. It just over time it just went away. I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I still have like little nerve problems, but it's not nothing near about what it was. So I
right.
think that was just an overtime thing. It
Yeah,
just got better over time.
and the neck brace, right? Like it's got to
Oh yeah, we
make a
got to do
big
something.
difference.
Most definitely.
So I was just wanting to chat to you for like 45 minutes. So if you have to go anywhere,
Okay.
just let me know, man.
Oh yeah, it's all good. I'm in no rush right now.
Okay. So you're coming off the edge. See, the tackle just
Hmm.
completely whiffs there.
Yeah.
Nearly took the guy's head off. So you're flying off the edge here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you went up against Wills. Wills, yeah, I like Wills. Any other tackles that were? Oh, you mentioned your own guy, because like
Yeah.
you can be big and stuff, but like I mean, you're a great player, but you got to get a bit more resistance than that, right?
Oh
And you're
yeah.
playing at a Division One level.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those guys, they're having a pretty rough day that day. This is
That's
like
a
pretty
strip
much
sack,
like, yeah, I was back at home in Texas. This is like my first game playing back at home in Texas.
right?
So it was like my first breakout game too. I had three strip sacks this game.
Three, three strip sacks.
Yeah, in this one game, three strip sacks.
I mean, not only can you
Like,
get to the ball, but then you know how to get the ball out. Like that's big time. Three
yeah,
strip sacks, like that. An offense can't run if you're doing that to them.
oh yeah, man, just trying to get my hand on the ball and get it to my offense, man, so we put some points.
Yeah, I suppose you just walk off the field and say, "All right, offense, you got to get a touchdown here." Like I just did my work, right?
No, yeah, oh
Would you?
yeah,
I was thinking like you could play. I think you could just based on what I've seen on the defensive end, you could play fullback pretty well because like you can move guys, things like that. Are there any other offensive positions that you think you could play on if you had to?
uh, I think I could definitely, if needed, I could definitely play tight end
Yeah.
if needed. Just a receiving threat or another threat to have the ball and be able to make some plays with. But I haven't really played much offense, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know.
You remember the hard knocks with the Texans and JJ Watt was practicing catching balls.
Oh yeah.
Do you do that at all? Like you get the
Oh,
ball shooting machine?
Oh yeah, I give my quarterbacks every now and then, act like I'm running some routes, just messing around, fooling around, but nothing serious. I might hop in the receivers drill or something like that, but nothing serious.
Right. So at the end of a game, like how much do you feel you have in the tank generally, as far as like stamina?
Oh, after the game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm drained after the game most times. I'm trying to find somewhere and take a shower and go to sleep most
Right.
most times, but
Yeah.
uh, it really just depends. Some games I may feel a little better than others. It's just depending on how the week goes, how late in the season it is, and if I had nagging pains or anything like that. So that would all go into it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy. Like the guys. I mean, people really stop playing both ways in high school generally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another guy called Rashad Berry who went undrafted, but he's with the Patriots now.
Hmm.
And I think he played with Ohio State and he played D end, um,
Hmm.
as well as primary position of like fullback / tight end. So,
Hmm.
and I thought Rashad Berry was one of the best players in the draft. So, yeah, it's interesting. It goes to show that, like, yeah, I mean, you've got to be special to be playing multiple positions like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that's where like being useful on special teams in different positions goes into increasing your value, right? So,
Hmm.
um, and obviously that means that like you're doing extra work in training, right? Working with the special teams as well as the
Oh
primary
yeah,
unit, right?
for sure. Yeah, that last clip before that's the third one right there.
So,
The third
so
picture.
this one,
Yeah, that's the second one. Then the first one where I hit the ball and I didn't know I hit it. That's the first one,
okay,
and that's the second one, and this is the
right.
third one on the next clip.
Oh man, this guy's like he just got the snap. Like maybe I feel like yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things that go into quarterback play. It's like knowing where the rush is coming from and stuff, but
Yeah,
maybe there wasn't too much he could do.
yeah.
So you're coming off the right, and
Yeah.
the guy's
I
holding.
actually,
That's a hold, right?
yeah, yeah, I actually didn't get credit for the sack because we accepted the holding penalty.
Oh, man, the coaches did you dirty. Oh, there's Loxley. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, me and Loxley, yeah, we got real acquainted. So
Okay, coming off the left end. Yeah, I mean that's got to because as an offensive line, it's like yeah, we understand that maybe we have to give extra help against this guy, but if he's moving around, that can make it a bit more difficult, right?
yeah, yeah, most definitely.
And like maybe in traditional football, the best edge rushers coming off the defense's right edge, right? But like
Hmm.
obviously a guy like Von Miller, Khalil Mack, and stuff coming off the like strong side end. Um, is there much? I guess the only difference is like contending with the tight end, chipping or helping out on
Hmm.
the block, right?
Hmm. For the running back.
Or yeah, right.
Yeah.
But like, does your mentality change at all depending on which side of the line you line up on?
Not really, but me personally, I'd I like being on the left a little more, just because like when I'm in my stance, I got like my right hand down, so I feel like I got a little bit more of a push.
Okay,
But really, in either side will work, honestly.
yeah. I suppose are you so you're saying like being right-handed?
Hmm.
Are you right-handed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that
So on the left side, you have your right hand down, so you have like a little. You'll be a little more in control because a
okay,
lot of guys, the left hand stance, they can't get the same push.
right, okay. Yeah, I mean like in basketball, ambidextrity is important. So it
Hmm.
goes to show like in football it is as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Getting that, yeah, the offhand at least adequate. And yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, so you've studied guys like can Khalil Mack do that strong arm with both arms, or is it just the one?
Oh no, it's both arms.
Right, that's
Yeah,
next
yeah,
level, right?
yeah. He definitely doing it with both arms. Khalil Mack is a special type of guy.
Yeah,
Like you just don't run into those type of dudes.
right. And like he went to Buffalo, like that's not a
Hmm.
gigantic school, so
Yeah,
I wonder because I feel like you were one of the best players in the draft, and he went number 5. So I just wonder what he might have done differently that you didn't do, like because I feel like you're
yeah.
a pretty similar player, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that I have no clue.
Yeah,
I have no clue how he did it when number 5 out of Buffalo.
right. His brother came out. So did you have any interaction with other fellow draftees outside of New Mexico State?
Oh yeah, I had all my guys went undrafted though, like except for
Right.
Huntley.
Yeah.
Except for Huntley. Huntley was the only guy that I was talking to on the assistant basis that actually got drafted. But all my other guys went undrafted. Amari Henderson, he got picked up by the Jaguars. I'm pretty cool with him. Dante Vaughn from Notre Dame.
Okay.
He got picked up by the Chargers. Chris Orr, he's a really good guy from
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my. I actually grew up with him.
Oh yeah.
He's my guy.
All right.
Yeah, uh, just a lot of dudes that got picked up. DeMarcus Acey,
Yep.
grew up with him too from Mizzou.
Right.
Pretty good dude. Yeah, just kept in contact with a lot of those guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just bring that up because Ladarius Mack, Khalil's brother, um,
Hmm.
I think he was undrafted, but I think he's with the Bears. So the Mack
Oh
brothers are
yeah,
there. Um, yeah,
that's
like
awesome.
how do you feel like you can hit up Amari Henderson and you're like, hey man, like the Jaguars could really need me. Like I guess how many strings can your former
Oh
teammates
yeah.
pull?
Oh nah. See they undrafted, so they don't got too many strings they can pull.
Okay,
They just trying to fight from their spot. But like
right.
that guy right there having Khalil Mack as your brother, that's a major string. That's
Yeah, yeah, true,
he can
true.
yeah he can get you pretty much anything in Chicago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Ladarius is actually pretty good though.
Yeah, I seen him. He's pretty nice.
Yeah, and like, yeah, it's just weird to me how some players get heaps of attention and others don't. I mean, I'm not really
Yeah.
in tune. I'm not talking to fellow scouts or anything It's just interesting
Mm-hmm.
how guys get so much attention and others don't. Like someone's got to write a PhD on this. Like, you know, production can be there for some guys, and you know, like there's guys drafted in the first round. I felt like who might be out of the league in a few years, just based on
Yeah.
their ability. So it's like how the draft works, and you know, everyone's talking about it being an imperfect science. And sure, I don't have all the answers, but I feel like if you really know football, you should be hitting on every pick. That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah. Just about. Yeah.
Do you think scouts might just get caught up in like physical traits or things like that, or you know, like some like
Yeah.
I feel like Oakland only really picks guys from like Alabama or Clemson, you know, the big schools, but like they're overlooking so talent elsewhere, right? So do you think
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
scouts get caught up in?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can definitely caught up in that because I'm not just like the strongest looking guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no six pack. I'm not just ripped up. You
Right.
know, and I feel like that could be a thing that might have turned scouts the other way. But I feel like it's either you can play football or you can't. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just hey, it is what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Right. So you kind of like make initial contact on this right tackle, and
Hmm.
but then yeah, I mean, your hand usage is good enough where you're making a miss on the second time around, right? And
Hmm.
then you're like, you know, you're at an angle, but you can still run. So that shows athleticism. And then you
Yeah,
crush him.
they caught it a four pass.
Right. Oh yeah. There's Loxley. So you're coming from the left end.
Hmm. He stepped up on me.
Yeah. So that tackle. I mean, was that a hold or was it just? What do you think about that right
Yeah,
tackle?
he was holding me under my he was up under my chest strap holding me, and
Yeah.
then I saw Loxley out the corner of my eye. I saw him go up in the pocket. So that's what made me redirect like that.
Right.
I don't want to run past him.
So it goes to show, like, I mean, this is just a highlight tape, but you don't really take plays off, right? You're not just like, oh,
Right.
he's passed me. Like, you want to make that play. And, you know, from a scout's point of view, even like a defensive lineman being near the ball, like at the end of a tackle when the play's dead, like that, you know, it's obvious, like, if you're going to be on TV more if you just play your ass off and get to the ball at all times, right?
Hmm. Oh
So,
yeah, most definitely.
yeah. So you're doing that here. So he's got the hold, but then yeah, you've got that balance to make the spin move. And Loxley thinks that he might be getting away.
Yeah, he doesn't see me
He's got to
coming.
have more awareness though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
So you're
yeah. I might be a D tackle on this one. Oh no, I'm right inside the tackle
yeah.
on this one.
So that's an interesting package, I guess. Like 1st and 10, and they've got
Yeah,
two backs in the backfield.
yeah, and it's like two receivers on the left too. Like it's just a weird formation.
Yeah, I suppose like you know that you have some linebacker help.
Hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think he tried to cut me on this play.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just bounce off him, and you're chasing. So yeah, I feel like you can play inside linebacker because you can move so well, and you can like inside linebackers are asked to cover more than like the on-ball linebackers,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like
Most definitely.
you could cover better than most linebackers in the draft that I saw.
Yeah, you can't really see this, but this is another spin move.
Is it?
Yeah, but you can't really see. I'm coming from the left. They kind of
Yeah,
cut it off.
yeah. I'm interested. So you said you're playing around the 250-pound mark, but like if you weren't
Hmm.
training a lot, what weight do you think you would be?
Um, well, since about high school, I hover around in between like 240 and 260. Like I'm anywhere in that window. But if needed, if I need to go up or just whatever my team may need at my weight, I can definitely do that.
Right. Okay. Because James Smith Williams, who I mentioned before, he came into NC State. He's like 6'4", 200, and he gained like 65 pounds of muscle.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just interested, like, yeah, what your, I guess, natural playing weight is.
Oh yeah, I came in about 230.
Okay.
Yeah, I got up to about two. At one point, I was like 255, 260. So I put on about 30 pounds.
Yeah. Have you found, like, because being at college, you would have had meals, like, enough, like, as much food as you want? Is that right?
Yeah, just about almost.
Yeah. So, like, being away from that, like, now you've got to be more conscious about getting your calories in and stuff, right? So it takes more discipline.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just especially when you just sitting around and stuff like that, putting what you put in your body is gonna be what comes out. You know what I'm saying in the
Right.
long run. So just paying attention to what you're eating, and that's the main thing. Just paying attention to what you're eating. Just knowing what you're eating. You can't just eat anything.
Right. Yeah. So, like, if you've really exerted yourself on the day, so because there's stories about LeBron James actually just like eating like 10 pancakes in the morning and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess you can't just pour anything into your body. I mean, I've been during this COVID time, like I want to play basketball at a higher level than I have in the past, but during COVID, I haven't been able to. So I've been running a lot, and I've been timing myself on the track and stuff, and you do actually notice that if you've had a bad day of eating the day before, you feel like you are a little bit more sluggish. So if you're wanting to get that extra like 1%, 2% more performance, you do have to be conscious about the eating, right?
I just try to stay on the fruits as much as possible, the fruits and the vegetables, and just keeping your energy up, like bananas and stuff. Bananas are real good for energy. Stay
Right.
on those, when I'm in a slump, and or even if I'm in a slump, yoga is good. I've been real big on the yoga too.
Yep.
Still stretching your body out, but at the same time clearing your mind. It's just a good combination.
Right. Man, so like if you do hit the big time, like I've thought about being an agent, and I actually have a Canadian work permit. So I was thinking about if I get if some players that I talk to want to be a client, then I could theoretically go over to Canada. And the barriers to being a CFL agent are nowhere near as strict as an NFL agent. But if I was your agent, I'd try and get you like a yogurt ad just from what you just said, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'll take those too.
Yeah. Get some Yoplait. Get some. Yeah, I mean, you would have worked so hard to get to the level that you're at, and you'd feel like you deserve that, the bag, and thinking about like free stuff you get once you get that profile, it must be tantalizing for you. So like, how do you foresee the next like 2 years playing out or so? Because like, it's hard with COVID. I guess your plan is just to keep ready, and like, is there any window for you making an NFL team by the start of the season, or even like halfway through the season, or anything like that?
There's no specific window for me right now. Like I said, most times, I don't even really think that far. Like I'm a in the moment type of guy. So, I'm like, just all right, just get to the next day, the next day, the next day. And if an opportunity pops, I'll be ready for it. I'll be all for it. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. I've kind of come to a realization that I might not play football this 2020 season, just because everything that's going on, it might be too hectic. But next year, I definitely plan on playing football for sure. Not knowing what league it's gonna be for, but I'll be ready.
Right. If you don't mind me asking, like, so is your agent representing a whole bunch of players?
Yeah, yeah, he's got a few players.
Okay. Yeah, I just wonder what an agent's life is like. Are you constantly like barraging general managers with messages like, "Hey, why don't you bring on my guy?" And are they showing highlight tape to general managers and things like that? Do you know?
I believe they are showing highlight tapes. Like that part of it, I'm really unsure of because that's out of my control. But
Yeah.
he's keeping in contact with different coaches and general managers, and just getting my name out there as much as he can, just playing his part.
Yeah.
But I can only do my part for right now.
Yeah. So, but he'd have contacts in the CFL,
Yeah,
or he or she, I don't know. But
yeah,
he'd have contacts in the CFL. Yeah, it's having those
yeah.
connections is important, right? So,
hmm
yeah. So, man, it'd be good to see you out there again. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it'd be a pleasure.
So you're coming off the left end.
hmm
So you got a fullback coming up. See, like this is what like if you play against Baltimore, this is what you'd have to be facing, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll have like three tight end sets and like some guys in the
hmm
backfield and stuff. So you got a fullback in your face. You've got a guy coming number 23 there. You got coming behind. So I guess
hmm
like in that situation, you just kind of you can't cover everyone. So you just
Yeah.
think that your second
But
because you're the primary defender, so the secondary will handle that guy on the sweep.
yeah, I'm not too much worried about the pitch guy in the very back. I'm just trying to make sure I'm up under this guy that's coming around to give me. Well, he's coming around to get the linebacker. They're reading off me.
Okay.
But my main thing is to clear the fullback's hands. Like, okay, I'm checking his hands, make sure he doesn't got it. Then I
Yeah.
work my way to the quarterback, and then the quarterback to the pitch.
Right. It's interesting with this frame that fullback, like little details like his left leg there is on the inside, so he's not going to have
hmm
as much balance once he makes contact with you at this point. Is it?
Yeah,
Would you say?
yeah, definitely.
I
But
suppose.
I can whiff him and make a miss and stuff like that too. So, but I just want
Right.
to make sure I'm inside of
Inside. Okay.
him.
Yeah, because that's where the defense is most vulnerable.
Yeah, and that linebacker behind me, he's gonna jump outside. So we got have
Okay.
those two.
Right. So yeah, because like you can't just say by default that the D end has got to be containing the play, right? Because there could be all
Correct.
sorts of other play calls, and you know that your linebacker is
hmm
going to be on the outside,
hmm
right? So that's interesting because like a lot of NFL players criticize Pro Football Focus because they'll give a grade, but they don't necessarily know what the player is actually asked to do.
Yeah, correct.
So that's interesting.
hmm
Um, so so the fullback just goes right past you, and again, you're being disciplined. You're not chasing any one player or over committing to any one player, and just
Yeah,
yeah make that stop.
I'm coming off the right edge in this one.
Okay, there's a lot of bit of pressure there.
Yeah,
So you push the tackle outside to give yourself more
hmm
space, right?
yeah, to come back inside.
Yeah, that was over pretty quick. And the tackle's
Yeah.
down. What did you do to the dude?
I think Ferguson might have rolled over his knee. If you see, I'm like, I heard him yelling. I'm like, whoa. If they go back, if you keep playing the video, I
Yeah.
was like, whoa. I think like Ferguson like rolled up behind him. I think or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gotta suck, man.
yeah,
Oh shit. It's pretty impressive that these guys are like any NFL player, but the really big dudes. Um,
hmm
like you've got to be massive, but you've got to be nimble as well to potentially
oh
avoid
yeah,
injuries like that.
exactly.
Because I think
Just
a
being
lot of
aware.
right, I think a lot of a lot of a player's value is simply like how are you avoiding injury.
Hmm.
I feel
Yeah,
like
the best ability is availability.
yeah, like
Mhm.
sometimes it's freakish. Like I'll bring this guy up again. James Smith Williams had injuries throughout his college career, and he's a really good player. But like the trend is and in basketball as well, like if you're driving into the lane, against like two defenders and you're falling to the ground and getting hurt, then that indicates that you're not as good a player as you need to be, right? So
Hmm.
if a player is
Correct.
constantly hurt, chances are they're probably driving into lanes they shouldn't be driving into, that sort of thing, or jumping when they
Hmm.
shouldn't be jumping. So, yeah, when you're scouting guys who can avoid injury, yeah, I mean, as I said, they're adding value. I feel. And how,
Oh yeah.
how is your how is your durability? Like, did you play? It seems like
Yeah, I
you played
played.
pretty much every game.
Yeah, I played every game except for the games I was suspended for my academics. So
Right.
I didn't miss any games due to injury.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's what I heard. Yeah.
I mean, you're you're wanting to play pro football, so like the academic side of things can't be that too much of a focus, right?
Yeah, yeah. At that time, it wasn't, but I had to get my mind back right. Get back on it. But it
But
was
it's got to
more
be
of
a
like an
distraction.
advisor thing. Oh yeah,
Like school is a
especially with with
distraction.
with, with all this going on with traveling every week and
Yeah,
you're practicing and stuff, and like it can get hard to do the school side of things, but you just have to find a good middle ground to make it work.
right. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, they don't accept excuses. I guess like it's just yeah. I mean, from an outsider's point of view, the whole NCAA thing just seems bizarre. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see how that landscape changes. So you're
I'm on
coming
the
off
left
the
side.
left end.
Yeah.
See, like you've got to understand from a scout's point of view. I would have watched like 10 defensive ends not do the right thing. So when I see a player
Mhm.
doing the right thing, it's like yes. So you're coming inside, just give him a spin, easy money. I must say, players look more intimidating when they've got those armbands on.
Oh yeah, I just added that. I added that my senior year.
Right. I mean, like actually, from a scout's point of view, again, I'll sound like a broken record, but
Uh,
if you can just wear something to make yourself stand out a bit, that is helpful
oh
to
yeah,
find a guy on film. So if you're doing that, then that can attract eyeballs. See, okay, I was watching this play before I spoke to you today, and I was like, how did he diagnose this so quickly? So that's the
because
Central Michigan.
the tackle didn't block me. So when he didn't
Okay.
block me, I knew it was something up. He like faked like he was about to block me. So like it has to be a screen.
See, that goes to show that you've watched plenty of film and just understand the game, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you just stop on a dime, and then this quarterback's like, oh, he's just stuck at that point because you've just blown up the play before it's even happened, really. I mean, how were you thinking like pick at this point?
I was thinking go for the pick, but it's like right before halftime. I'm like, let me just get him down on the ground,
Okay. Yeah.
going to the next play.
Yeah. So your left end, I think.
Yeah.
So you just brush off that. Oh, that's a huge loss, man. It was just a QB
Yeah.
rollout, and you just brush him off. And the tackle's like going up to the next level, pretending that like he didn't just completely miss on that block, right? He's down. So this is
Another screen.
yeah. So that's where you're getting back to make the play.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the
I'm on the right edge.
right, yeah. So that dip. Are there any moves that you feel like you need to work on?
Um, Not really specific moves, but just more hand placement and hand fighting.
Right,
I can do better with just my hand speed, my overall hand speed. I am trying to work on that.
right. And how do you go about working on that?
Just working with pads, just having a guy, just constantly shoot his hands and just working different moves, getting yourself out the way, moving your hips, stuff
Okay.
like that.
You don't go the old Aaron Donald route and get some guy with like a plastic knife and like do some
Oh yeah, I
karate.
heard about that. Yeah, I'm gonna let Aaron Donald have that.
You might be onto
That'd
something,
be
man.
good. Yeah.
I wonder if boxing would help with your hand speed, things like that, and blocking and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely would. I've done some boxing training
Yeah,
recently.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, to an extent, you've got to kind of just freshen up the workout, right? Like being
Hmm.
bored isn't a nice feeling, so
Oh
trying
yeah.
different stuff would be helpful.
Hmm.
So I like basketball because you can just play by yourself and get better. So can you
Hmm.
do that with football, or you try and get
Um,
your guy
to
around to help out?
to a certain extent in football, you can always maintain and stay in shape, but for the most part, you're gonna need somebody else there with you
Right.
to try and take that next step.
Yep. Right. I suppose like that's good about being home in Dallas, right? It's like you'd have a bunch
Hmm.
of guys around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's your expression there? I suppose you're down by a fair bit, which
Yeah,
is
that's the reason
unfortunate.
why. Like, I got the
Yeah.
sack, but
Right. Well, that's a good mentality. You'll see some guys celebrating that.
nah, there's no need to celebrate. We on to the next play.
Yeah.
I'm coming off the left side.
Yeah.
It's gonna be another angle of this.
Okay. So you're going. So as far as tackling technique, you're really going for those hips.
Yeah, the hips. If I can bring the hips down, then he's got to go down.
Right. And he did a good job of holding onto the ball there, I guess.
Yeah,
Like that two-handed thing is
yeah,
important as a QB. So that's right edge.
uh,
So
yeah,
that's just a three-man front, 3rd and 13. Kind of. I guess that makes sense.
yeah. I think we ran the blitz out of this package and they didn't pick it up. I'm not sure.
Right. How did you have a three-man front a fair bit, particularly in your senior season?
Yeah, quite a bit, but it wasn't just like a true 3-man front. We would run like different blitz packages out of it, so it'd
Okay.
be a lot of moving pieces.
Right. Yeah, because in watching that James Smith Williams tape, he had a lot. He faced a lot of, 3-on-5. So that
Hmm.
it. I mean, that kind of indicates that the coaches trust you to still get to the ball, but it
Yeah,
means that you're less likely to, pad your stats because you're facing so much more blocking attention, right?
yeah, correct.
Right. So you're off the right end, and App State has produced a fair bit of NFL talent. I feel.
Oh yeah, they have a very nice program up there.
Right.
Very nice program.
I imagine like it's the Appalachian Mountains, right? So I imagine it's just like
Yeah,
just serene, like
yeah.
like almost like a
It's just
Buddhist temple type thing.
yeah, it's like hella trees around it. It's actually a very nice campus, like one of the best campuses I've been to. Like
Right.
it's nice up there.
So you're just running. Oh, here you go. The running back doesn't, or whoever's
Yeah,
blocking there is just like, I'm not interested in
yeah. I
blocking
got
this
confused
dude.
with
Like,
all the moving pieces.
yeah, he's just like, don't want to take this guy on. So what is that? That's a forward pass or a strip, you reckon?
Yeah, yeah. They gave him a forward pass on this. Think
It's
it's going.
close. I feel.
Yeah, I had a lot of close calls and they never gave them to me. So
Again, that's why you cannot just solely rely on stats when you're evaluating
yeah,
someone, obviously. I'm not saying anyone does that, but
yeah,
I feel like it's might be sort of that analytics side of things is leaking into the game, and it might be helpful in some situations. I feel like I was watching this and I feel like Like, are these guys watching the game? Like, you just made a huge play and they're not like crowding around and giving you like praise. Like, what's going on there?
Hey, I wish I knew. I guess that was just that was like it was super early in the game too. So I don't know. They might just been on to the next play too.
Okay. But you're hyped right now, and
Oh
yeah.
yeah, there go Huntley right there.
Sorry, Huntley on the,
Yeah, he's sitting down right there to the left.
and is he talking to you there? He's like,
Yeah, he said something to me, but I'm so hyped I ain't even hear him.
yeah. Huntley, I feel like Huntley is going to be the best back on the line. Oh, they've got Kerryon Johnson and John. They just drafted DeAndre Swift.
Mhm.
I feel like Huntley's actually better than Swift. So that's going to be an interesting case study of like,
Yeah,
do you give the better player the playing time even though they're a late round pick versus the second round pick?
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see how
That'll
that
be
plays
interesting.
out. But Huntley should get like return duties and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he was one of the best returners in the nation for us.
Yeah, yeah. That must be fun to watch as a teammate and like takes a little bit
Man,
of pressure off
oh
everyone.
yeah, when Huntley's out there doing his thing, I'm definitely on the sidelines too. Then I'm watching. I'm supposed to be listening to coach, but I'm
You're
watching
watching,
Huntley do his thing.
right? So I suppose like when you're coming off, like the coaches would be talking about the same sort of finer details, like, but it's hard for
Hmm.
them to see everything when everything's so
Yeah,
fast, right? So what sort of stuff would they
yeah.
be saying when you come off the field?
A lot of the information the coaches get is from the press box up
Okay,
top. They have other coaches up there talking to them through their headset. So any little things they see combined with the things they're seeing from the sidelines, they'll just be like, the tackle's sitting wide, you got to take him inside, or he's not
okay,
getting much depth on this kick, so you got to go ahead and turn that corner on him. Just little stuff like that.
okay, right. I suppose like that takes a lot of ability to sort of use that information on the fly and adapt to it, right?
Oh yeah, just taking what's being told to you and just putting it in action. A lot of guys can't do that.
Right. Yeah. So that's the video. Yeah. I mean, so man, we've been chatting for an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch a little bit more tape with you if you want.
I'm actually about to head out in a little
Are you?
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can definitely do this again. Whenever
Okay.
if you find another video or something you want to watch, just let me know.
All right. Okay. I appreciate it. And yeah, talking to Javon would be good.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to talk to him here soon. He just called me. Matter of fact, I'm about to call him right after this.
Okay. Well, tell him I said hi. And yeah, so yeah, thanks again for coming on, man, and best of luck with everything that goes on in this crazy time.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Thank you.
I think, yeah, I mean, I'm inexperienced with this Zoom stuff, so I think all of this was recorded, and I'll send you a link to the YouTube channel that I'll upload it to.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, like best of luck, man. Yeah, and yeah, maybe I'll speak to you again soon, sometime soon in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, most definitely. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for everything.
No problem. All
No
right.
problem.
All right. I'll catch you later. I'll stop the video.
Yes,
See
sir.
you later, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
All right.